Good morning to all. Myself, Manoj Kumar Bundela, Assistant Professor, Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur. So we are discussing the fundamental of horticulture course. So in this, today we will discuss the plant propagation. Plant propagation, why we go for plant propagation? To increase the number of species. Propagation of the species. Propagation of the species means we have to develop the multiplication of the species. Means we have to develop the so many species with one seeds. That is called as plant propagation. There are two kinds of plant propagation are there: sexual propagation and asexual propagation. Sexual propagation means pollen and egg are combined genetic material to create a new uniquely individual plant. In sexual propagation, pollen and egg will combine and they will create a new uniquely individual plant. Asexual propagation means cloning a new individual from a part of a single parent plant. So we use the single parent plants like any parts of the plant we use for the propagation. Sexual propagation normally we use the seeds. Combination of that the seeds will develop and that seeds we use for the propagation material. But in asexual we use the vegetative method of propagation like cutting, grafting, airing, budding. So these methods we use in asexual propagation. Means any plant part we use for the propagation. Types of cell division. So there are two types of cell division are there. One is mitosis, second one is meiosis. Mitosis is the one mother cell divides to form two daughter cells. Means one mother cell will divide and form the two daughter cells that are genetically identical to the mother cell. And whatever it will develop that is genetically identical to the mother cell. This is normal plant growth. So mitosis means it is a normal plant growth. The cells will divided into two daughter cells. Meiosis, one mother cell divides to form the gametes. From the one mother cell, it will divide and it will form the gametes. The reproductive cells it will form, and egg and pollen it will form in meiosis. No gametes are formed in genetically identical to the gametes that combine to form the parent plants. In this, the whatever the gametes they will hold, they are genetically identical to the parent plants. Sexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, the meiosis is occurs in mother cell in the flowers. So mother cells are present in the flowers. In that, the meiosis will be occurs. The chromosome number is reduced to half. In sexual reproduction, the chromosome number is reduced to half. Random shuffling of genetic material. In this, the genetic material will be randomly shuffled, means like pollen parents and egg parents from the female. So male and female crossing will be occurs. The pollens will be fall down on the stigma of the female parents, and then the pollen will fertilize the egg and seeds will develop. Fertilization occurs. Pollen grains hand on stigma and germinates and deposits its chromosome in the egg. A seed is formed. Means the two parents are there. One is pollen parent are there. That is called as male parent. Second one is female parent are there. That is egg parents are there. So from that pollen, the from that male parents, the pollen will be fall down on the female parent, the stigma of the female parent, and then that pollen will be react with the egg, means they will fertilize the egg and the formation of seeds will be start. The vegetative propagation of horticultural plants. So vegetative propagation is by different methods we use. By first we use the cutting. The vegetative propagation of horticulture plant. The vegetative propagation is also called as asexual propagation in another method of plant propagation used widely in horticultural crop. The vegetative method of propagation it is also called as asexual propagation. It is mainly used for the many crops. The use vegetative propagation uses several of the plant parts for the producing the plant asexually. So it is mainly used for development of the plants asexually. So different method of vegetative propagation we use, like cutting, the nuts, storage organs, storage organs, layering, grafting, and micropropagation. So these are the different methods that we use in vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation is used to get the similar genetic background of mother plant. In vegetative propagation, we use the any parts of the plant we use, like cutting we are using, or we are going for grafting or budding we are going. So whatever the characters are present in that mother plant, that same characters will come into the new generation in vegetative propagation. Good skill, knowledge, experience in vegetative propagation of the plant is largely scaled. So whenever we go for vegetative propagation, the skill is we have the skill and knowledge about the means which parts we have to use for the propagation. Like in cutting only, there are cutting only we use the different parts. Semi hardwood cutting, softwood cutting. So three types of cuttings we use. So in which plant, which type of cuttings we have to use for the propagation. So that is very important. So first we check whether that cutting is sufficient for using that, means we use the softwood cutting we are using, semi hardwood we are using, or hardwood cutting we are using. Vegetative propagation is widely used in horticulture crops nurseries. Normally we will go for in fruits and all we will go for vegetative method of propagation. Advantage of vegetative propagation: mass production of the plants using the plant parts of the mother parent. So we can go for the large scale we can develop the plants by use of the cutting, like we can grow the so many cutting in one palace and we can develop the plants in large scale. No need is no seed is required for multiply the varieties having a desired quantitative and qualitative traits. Sometimes we will select a particular varieties. That particular variety is giving to the higher yield, and that particular variety is resistant to the particular disease and pest. So what we have to do, we not require any seeds for multiplication. We can use the any part of the plant, and we can multiply that. And whatever the disease resistance character or whatever the characters that is present in that variety, they will transfer to the new plants. So it will increase the quantitative and qualitative traits. Useful technique in production of plants which are difficult to propagate using the seeds. So some plants, what will happen? The seed propagation is not possible. Means we can't go for propagation through the seeds. It is very difficult. Like in case of banana, if we are not using the seeds. We are going for artificial propagation in banana. So like this, some other fruits crops are there. In that seeds, it is very difficult to produce the plant through the seeds. So we can go for vegetative method of propagation. Propagation using the cutting. So one of the easiest way of plant propagation is by using the cutting from the various parts of the plant. So we can take the cuttings from the various parts of the plant, like we can take the cuttings from stem, root, and leaf cutting. So these are the different cuttings we can use. Propagation using the cutting. So first we are doing by the stem cutting. The cutting should be generally consist of the current or past season growth. So in some fruit crops we use the current season cutting, means current season whatever the branch is coming, that cutting we use. In some crops we will prefer the old season cutting, past season cuttings we are using. Avoid the material with flower bud if possible. So if the flower buds are present in that cutting, so we will not take that. We have to avoid that. Remove any flower buds when preparing the cutting, so the cutting energy can be used in producing the new roots rather than the flowers. So whenever we take the cuttings, what we have to do, we have to take care that whatever the cuttings we are using, it not contain the any flower bud or it not contain the any leaf and all. So that whatever the energy that is present in that particular cutting, that will be used for the only used for the seed production in root production only. If buds are there, then that will be used for the development of the flowers. So stem cutting, take a cutting from the healthy, disease-free preferably from the upper part of the plant. So we have to take the cutting from the healthy plant. We have to select the plant which is healthy, disease free, and normally we use the upper parts of the plant for the propagation material. Avoid the taking cutting from the plant which show the symptoms of mineral nutrient deficiency. So sometimes if we not apply the nutrients to the plants, there is a chance of mineral nutrient deficiency. So in that case, we have to avoid the cutting from that type of plant which have the mineral nutrient deficiency. The plant that have been fertilized heavily, particularly with the nitrogen, may not root well. So normally if we apply the more quantity of nitrogen, so the plants will be fertilized easily. So means fertilization will be occur. So that type plants we will not use for the cutting purpose because the roots will not develop in proper manner in that. The fertility status of the stock and parent plants can be influence rooting. Means whatever the stock we are selecting, that will be produce the more root. A stock plant should not be under moisture stress. Sometime what will happen, whatever the stock plant we are using, whatever the cuttings we are using, that is in moisture stress. If we apply the moisture, if it is not available, then the rooting will be not occur. So like this cuttings we have to not select. In generally, cutting taken from the young plant roots is higher percentage than the cutting taken from the older or more matured plant. So normally whenever we take the cutting, we have to take the cutting from the young plant. Means we have to select the young plant. If we select the young plant means it will give the higher percentage of rooting. The rooting will be more in the young plant as compared to the older plants or more mature plants. Early morning is the best time for taking the cutting because the plant is fully target. So normally we will take the cuttings in the morning hours because in morning hours the plant is fully target. So that time if we take the cutting, so the rootings will be occur faster. While the terminal parts of the stem are best as a long shoot can be divided into several cuttings. The terminal part of the stem also we will use, that is also the best for the using for the cutting. Cutting are generally 4 to 6 inch long. So whatever cutting we have to select, that is 4 to 6 inch long cutting we have to select. Use a sharp thin bladed pocket knife for sharp pruning shear- shears we use. So normally we use the cutting knife is available in market. So that knife we use for the preparation of the cutting. It is necessary dip the cutting tools in rubbing alcohol. Normally we will before we have to go for cutting we have to dip that into the alcohol. A mixture of 1 part of bleach to the 9 parts of water. 1 part of bleach we add or 9 parts of water to prevent the transmitting disease from the infected plant parts to the healthy ones. So sometime what we have to do, like we are using the budding and grafting knife we are using, the cutting knife we are using. So when we use the knife, so that time what we have to do, we have to take care, we have to go for means we have to dip tap into the alcohol so that whatever the whatever the some disease transmitting agents that is present on that particular knife, they will not transmit to the another healthy plants. If we use the same knife in all plants, then sometime what will happen in some plants there is some disease are there. So that disease infection will be spread to the other plants also. So for that we have to use the knife and we will dip the knife into the alcohol. Removal of leaves from the lower third one third of the to the one half of the cutting. So this is the cuttings we are taking. From this cutting we have to remove the leaves. From lower parts, one third parts we have to remove the cuttings. We have to remove the leaves. One large leafed plant, the remaining leaves may be cut in half to reduce the water losses and conserve the space. So other cuttings also we have to, other leaves also we have to remove. Why we have to remove the leaves? Because if the leaves are there, then the transpiration will be occurs and the water loss will be more. To reduce the water loss, we have to use this. we have to go remove the leaves. There are different types of cuttings are there. First one is softwood cutting. Are prepared from the soft, succulent, new growth of the woody plants. So I told you that in some plants we have to select the new growth of the plant. Select sometimes we have to select the old. So in softwood cutting we have to select the new growth of the woody plant. Just it being have to be hardened. Means just we have to select the cuttings that is just it will get hardened. Softwood cutting. Shoots are suitable for making softwood cutting when they can be snapped easily, when bent, and when they still have graduation of leaf size. Oldest leaves are mature while the newest leaves are still small. So whatever cuttings we have to select, in that we have to check that the stem it contain the leaves. Whatever the lower leaves are there, that leaves will be mature, and the upper leaves will be still small in size. So that type leaves we have to select, that time cutting we have to select, and then the lower leaves we have to remove. Second one is semi-hardwood cutting, are generally prepared from the partially matured wood of the current season growth. Partially matured wood of the current season growth. Just after a flush of growth, in just after when the growth will be start, that type of cuttings we have to select, that is called a semi-hardwood cutting. The woods is reasonably firm, and the leaves of mature size. The leaves will be mature and the wood is reasonably firm. Many broad-leaved evergreen shrubs and some conifers are propagated by this method. So some conifers and evergreen plants they are propagated by the semi-hardwood cutting. Hardwood cutting. Cuttings are taken from the dormant or mature stem. We have to select the dormant or mature stem in select hardwood cutting. The wood is firm and does not bend easily. So whatever the cutting we have to take, it will not bend easily like this way. In semi-hardwood and softwood cutting, it will bend easily. But in hardwood cutting, it will not bend easily. Hardwood cuttings are used most often for the deciduous shrubs but can be used for the many evergreens. So it is mainly used for the shrubs and evergreen plants. The three types of hardwood cuttings are there: straight, mallet, and heel. Straight cutting is most commonly used stem cutting. So these are the straight cutting. So this is the most commonly used stem cutting. The mallet and heel cuttings are used for the plant that might otherwise be more difficult from to root. In some plants, in that the root development is very difficult. In that type of plants, we have to use the mallet and heel cutting. So heel means it will make the heel like structure below that cutting, and in this we have to go the sharp cut below this. In this we have to not give any cuts. So these are the different three types of cutting: straight, mallet, and heel cutting. Heel hardwood cutting. Taking root cutting is one of the most reliable and economical way of producing many perennial and woody plants. So next one is root cutting. So root cutting is mainly used in the perennial and woody plants. Take a close look at the roots that you want to take cutting from and make sure that the healthy living roots, not dead ones that look black and dried out. So normally whatever the roots we have to select the healthy roots and the living roots, and that roots which are not dead. So like this roots we have to select and they looks black or dry out. That type roots we have to select for the root cutting purpose. Look to the large fleshy roots. Like this you can see we have to select the large fleshy roots. The thicker the better. If they are thick, then they are better. Choose the roots that are pencil thickness. So whatever the roots we have to select in cutting, they are in pencil thickness. In stem cutting also pencil thickness stem we have to use. In root cutting also pencil thickness roots we have to select. With the help of secateurs, these are the secateurs we have to cut the roots. Take 2 to 6 inch or 2 to 15 centimeter cutting and then cut into the 2 to 3 inch 6 to 7.5 inch section. So we have to take the root cutting, that is the size of the cutting is 2 to 15, and then we have to cut them into the half, means 2 to 3 inch 6 to 7.5 centimeters cuttings we have to take. The best way to keep the track of up and down is to make the flat cut on the top or the upside and slanted cut on the down or bottom side. So in top we have to make the flat cut, and lower portion we have to make the slant cut. So like this, flat cut on the top we have to make and slant cut on the bottom we have to make. Water is water the plant to settle the roots back into the soil properties. So why we make the slant cut and flat cut? Slant cut normally in bottles so that it will increase the area and the roots will develop more. And flat cut on the top portion we have to give. Next is the whole leaf. Next is leaf cutting. The whole leaf cutting are prepared from the leaves with or without their stalk. So we have to select the leaves where without the stalks we have to select. That is called as petiole. This petiole of the leaves we have to select. The roots and leaves will eventually form at the base of the leaves. The roots will be formed on the base surface of the leaves. The leaf section cutting can be used for the propagating material. Leaf section cutting normally we use for the propagating material. The leaves are cut into pieces. So normally if leaf cutting we have to take the leaves and we will cut the leaves into the pieces with the edge of the cutting closest to the face of the parent plants and inserted into the rooting media. So we have to take that and then we have to make the cuts on the leaves and then we will insert into the rooting media. Leaf cutting. A leaf bud cutting consists of a single leaf attached to a piece of 1 to 1.5 inch stem. So normally in leaf bud cutting we have to cut like this, a leaf which contain the buds. So like this we have to cut, and then 1 to 1.5 inch stem cutting we have to take, the 1.5 inch stem also we have to take, and then we have to show. The dormant bud located where the leaf stalk joins the stem will give rise to a new shoots and branches. The cutting should be inserted in the rooting media with the bud about 1.5 inch below the surface. Next is layering. So it is the technique of propagation in which a portion of the plant is forced to produce advantageous roots while it still remain attached to the mother plant. So in layering, what we have to do? We have to take the any branch of the plant, any parts of any branch of the plant we have to select, and then we have to bend that, and we will cover it by the soil. So from the buds parts, the roots will develop. We have to force the plant to develop the advantageous roots. In this process, a single portion of the plant consisting of roots and shoots. Upon emergence of the roots, the shoot is separated from the mother plant, survived in the nursery for some time, and then planted into the field. So in layering, what we have to do, like this is the plant is there, so we have to bend the plant. So after bending of the plants, this is the portion where the roots will develop. So the roots will develop from here, so we will cut it from here and then we show it to the nursery. Type of layering: simple layering, serpentine or compound layering, mound or stooling layering, tunch layering, tip layering, and air layering. Simple layering. Simple layering, what we have to do, we have to select one stem and then we have to bend it. Like this, I told you, we have to bend it and from this the bended portion the roots will develop. Then from here we have to cut it and then we have to show into the nursery. In this method, the ground-touching portion of the plant and suckers emerging along with the main stem of the plants are used for the layering. Generally, 1-year-old shoots is used for the layering. In this, we have to select the 1-year-old shoots. The shoot is bent down into in the soil using the peg or nail and tied with the help of rope to make it stay in the portion. So we have to bend this and we will use this is a rope. With the help of rope we have to tie it so that it will be in soil only. The ground touching portion is wounded. This is the ground touching portion. In this we have to make one wound. Just we make some small cuts. It in about 4 to 5 months the root emerges out. It, it is then separated from the mother plant by using the 2 to 3 cuts in installments. Guava and hazelnuts can be propagated easily through this technique. And hazelnut and guava we have to propagate through this simple layering techniques. The guava, lime, lemons are propagated through the simple layering method. This is a simple method we have to bend this stem. Serpentine layering. This is practiced in plant having a long, soft shoots which bend easily. We have to select the shoots which is easily bends. Means many times we have to go for bending of the stem. The shoots are covered with exposed alternately along with the length. The slanting cut is given below a node where it is to root. Means the below portion we have to make the slant cut. In that also we have to make the slant cut. So that from that cut portion only the roots will start development. Advantageous roots are formed, the nodes burned into the soil and a new shoot develop from the node above the ground. Means above the ground from the node the new shoots will be start development. When the shoots have attained a considerable size, when the shoots attain a particular size, that time they are served and planted into the nursery. It attains a size, then we have to make the cuts, and after make the cuts, we have to plant it into the nursery. It is practiced in Smilex, Wisteria, Muscadina grapes. In Muscadina grapes, that is normally practiced serpentine layering. So like this, we have to again and again we have to dip into the soil. Next is mound layering. This type of layering is practiced in plant in which the branches are very firm and bending is difficult. That some branches, what will happen, the branch are very hard and it is not easily to bend it. In that type of plants, we have to use the mound layering. In mound layering, the plant is pruned severally at 2.5 centimeter above ground. In 2.5 centimeter above ground, we have to go for pruning of the plants from the ground level. Like this is the ground level. From this portion we have to go for pruning of the plants and we have to make the cuts, and from that cuts only the roots will start emergence. Then we have to cut it from here and we have to show into the nursery. Before the start to a new growth, as a result, many shoots emerge out from the base of the plants. When the shoots become little hard sturdy, it is griddled. Means when sticky that time we will do gridding at the base, the rooting and its covered hormone is applied. Normally we use the rooting hormones we have to apply if needed, and it is covered with the soil. After that we will cover it by the soil to a height of 15 to 20 centimeter. Means 15 to 20 centimeter we will cover it by the soil. So depending upon the rooting, root emergence out into the root emerges out in about 3 to 4 months. After rooting, the shoot is separated. So when the roots will start coming, then we have to separate the shoots from the mother plants and mother plant and planted in nursery. We have to separate the shoots from the mother plant and then we plant into the nursery. It is practiced in like guava, apple, pear, and gooseberry for the propagation for the clonal material. So it is mainly practiced. Mound layering is practiced in guava, apple, pear, and gooseberry. Like this is the stem. We have to cover it by the soil. We have to make the cut and make the mound. Trench layering. It is used for the propagation of apple, pear, and cherry. In this method, the branch of the plant is bent down in the horizontal position in a shallow trench. So complete branch we will have to hold down. Complete branch we have to bend. Horizontal position in a shallow trench. When we have to make a trench, and in that trench we have to fold down the branch. When the shoot develops, the base is covered with a 5 to 10 centimeter layer of soil. Covering the shoot with soil gives the ethylation effect and help in rooting. So if we cover the shoots with the soil, it will give the etiolation effect and it helps into the rooting. The rooted layers are separated. So these are the complete plant branch we have to make the trunks. In this we have to bend the complete branch, and then we have to make some cuts and then we cover it by the soil. So after covering it by the soil, the plants means covered layer, the mother plants will start coming from that. Then we have to cut it by the from the mother plant, and we take the different level like this one we have to take that, and then we have to sow that rooted layers into the nursery. The trench layering is successfully in woody species which are not easily propagated through stooling. So some woody species which are not propagated through stooling, in that we have to go for trench method of layering. Tip layering. Dig a hole of 3 to 4 inch deep. This in tip layering, in tip portion we have to dig the hole, and only tip portion we have to bend into the soil. Insert the shoot tip or the cover it with the soil. Means shoot tip we have to tip into the soil and cover it in by the soil. The tip grows downward first, then bends sharply and grow upward. Means tip we have to bend the tip portion into the ground, and then the upper portion will be come out. The roots from the bend and the recurved tip become a new plant. Remove the tip layer and plant into the early spring or the late fall. Examples like purple and black raspberry, trailing blackberries. So blackberry and raspberry normally we will go for tip layering. In this we have to bend the tip portion of the plant. So air layering. It is also known as Chinese pot layering or guti. It is also called as guti. Normally it is called as guti. It is mainly practiced in case of guava and so many other fruits like lime, jackfruit, lychee. So in guti what we have to do? First we have to select a branch. With a sharp knife, make a two parallel cut about an inch apart around the stem and through the bark and cambium layers. So we have to select this. This is the branch we have to select. After that, we have to make the cuts like this. Cuts we have to make in both sides. Then we have to remove the outer skin. We have to remove. After removing of the outer skin, we have to keep into the by rooting hormones. We have to keep, and then we use a sphagnum moss and cover it by the plastics. So this is the simple method. Connect the two parallel cuts with one long cuts. We have to connect them. Remove the ring of the bark. This is the stem. From this we have to remove the ring. Ring like means complete ring we have to remove. Bark we have to remove. Ring like bark we have to remove. Leaving the inner woody tissue exposed. The inner woody tissue will be not exposed. Scarp the newly barred ring to remove the cambium tissue to prevent the bridge of the callus tissue from the forming. Apply the rooting hormone. So like this we have to remove the ring. Then we have to apply the rooting hormones we have to apply. We will use the sphagnum moss we can use. Apply the rooting hormones, and then we have to apply the sphagnum moss and cover it by the plastic sheet. So that why we cover it by the plastic, so that the water will not enter in this. And then after some times the rooting will be start like this, and then we will take that, cut it, and we will plant into the nursery. So this is called as air layering or guti. This advantage of layering. So it is a easy method and does not require much care and arrangement like cutting. So air layering means layering is an easy method. Normally we have to go for bending of the stem of the plant. The mother plant supplies the nutrients and the other metabolites as it is remain attached with the rooting. So means they will attach to these are not removed from the plant. So whatever the nutrients that is required for the development of the rooting that will come from the mother plant only. The mother plant supply the nutrients. The sum of the species which do not root by the cutting can be propagated by the layering. Some species which are not used, we can't go for using of the cutting. Or in that we can go for the propagation through the layering, like muscadina grapes. In this normally we will go for layering. Disadvantage: the number of new plants that can be produced from any given mother plants by layering is low as compared to the cutting. Is whatever the new plants we are developing through the layering, so it have the characteristics are low as compared to the cutting. In cutting means they have the characteristics of the plant is good as compared to the layering. It is costlier method where the labor charges are very high. So normally if you go for booty and all, the labor it is a costly method. Layered plants are generally shallow rooted. So layering means it will take so much time and the plants which are shallow rooted plants. The beneficial effects of rooted can not be exploited. Next is budding and grafting. Budding methods. First is budding. So budding is a form of grafting in which one bud and a small section of bark with or without wood is used as a scion. So normally in budding, normally two we use. One is stalk and second one is scion. Stalk means the plant where we have to go for budding. Scion means the other plants we have to select from other plants from where we have to collect the bud. That is called as scion. And stalk means the mother plant is called as stalk. Budding is practiced during the period when the active sap flow is going on the plant in growing successfully. And the active sap flow is going on in the plant. That time we will go for budding. So this is the buds we have to select. This is a stalk and scion. This is a stalk in the mother plant and this is the scion. From this we have to select the buds and we will transplant that bud to the stalk plant. Steps involved into the budding. The section of the selection of the budwood. First we have to select the buds, which buds is suitable for transplanting. Time of budding. The spring budding in March to April. In spring budding normally we will go for March to April. June budding May June. June budding is May June and fall budding in July to September. Fall budding July to September. June budding May June. Spring budding in March to April. Methods of budding. First one is chip budding, sealed or tea budding, patch budding, ring or annular budding, portrait budding, flute cutting, flute budding, eye budding, and micro budding. So these are the different methods of budding we are using. So first one is tea budding. In this method, the boat-shaped bud of 2.5 to 3 centimeter length is used. If the bud is inserted by making the vertical incision on the rootstock, termed as sealed budding. So if we are making the vertical incisions on the rootstock, then it is called as sealed budding. T-shaped incisions. If we are making the T-shaped incisions, we have to make the T-shaped incisions like this. This we have to making the T-shaped incisions we are making. Then it is called as T budding. On the rootstock plant, we have to make the T-shaped incision. The budding is made in 10 to 15 centimeter height on the rootstock. From the rootstock, we have to make the bud of 10 to 15 centimeter height. It is successfully in thin-skinned type plant. Normally, thin-skinned type plants, it is successfully like rose, apple, pear, peach, apricot, and cherry. So this is the mother plant. From that we have to make the T-shaped cut. This is the scion plant. From that we have to another plant. From that we have to collect the bud. And that buds, then we have to transplant that buds on that mother plant, and then after it by the we have to make the plastics and we cover it by the plastics. After some time it will join, and from here the new plants will be start new branch will be start emergence. So that is the simple steps in budding. Patch budding. This is very successful for the propagating the plants having the thick bark like jackfruit, amla, mango, jamun, and chestnut. The patch budding is mainly used in jackfruit, amla, mango, jamun, and chestnut. Square or rectangular shape. In patch budding, we have to make the square or rectangular shaped bud is taken out from the scion shoots. A similar size incision have to make on the rootstock. In rootstock also similar size incision we have. In rootstock means mother plant. So mother plant also we have to make the same type incision. Like square shape cut buds we are taking from the scion, then that same type we have to make on rootstock also. The bud is placed on the rootstock. For placed a bud, an incision of 2 to 3 centimeter size is prepared. The polythene tape is wrapped on the bud, leaving the sprouting portion is exposed. So like this is the mother plant. From this is the scion. From that we have to collect the buds, and same type cuts we have to make the stock plants also. This is the stock plant. In this also we have to make the same cut, and then we insert this like this, and then we cover it by the plastic sheet. Plastics we use, and we leave the buds. From these buds only the new plant emergence will be start. So in this we have to make the square or rectangular shape cut. Chip budding. So this method is practiced during the period when there is a lack of sap flow. When the sap flow is less, that time we will use the chip budding, and bud does not slip out easily from the bark, and it is very difficult to take the bark from the bud from the bark. Against Phylloxera insect, grape varieties are propagated during the dormant season. During the February to March in apple, pear, grapes can be propagated through the chip budding. So in this chip shape cut we have to make. From the stock plant chip make from the scion chip make cut we have to make, and we take the bud from the scion. This is the stock. Same cuts we have to chip shape cut we have to make on stock plant also or mother plant also. Then we insert this into the mother plant, and then we have to cover it by the plastics. Leave the buds. From that buds only the emergence of the stem will be start. So this is called as chip budding, and it is mainly practiced in grapes, apple, and pear in the month of February to March. Next one is ring budding. In this method, a ring-shaped bark of 2 to 3 centimeter length containing a bud is taken out from the scion stalk. So from scion stalk, we have to take the bark which are in ring-shaped bark. We have complete from that complete stem like ring-shaped bark we have to collect. On a terminal end of the rootstock, incision similar in size of bud is made. So in same, it contain one buds with buds, one ring type bark we have to collect like this. We have to collect the buds with contain a ring shaped bark we have to collect. Then we will insert this into the mother plant and use the plastics. While taking out the bud, care is taken that the bud is centrally located. Means buds will be in center. In ring, the buds will be in center located, and bud wood is made fit on the rootstock. And same cut we have to make on rootstock also, so that it will be completely fit on that rootstock. Fitting bud, it is applied downward by rooting it slowly till it fit tightly. Bur, peach and mulberry can be propagated through the ring budding. So ring budding is mainly used in bur, peach and mulberry. Next one is forked budding. It's a patch-shaped bud, 2 to 3 centimeter length, 0.5 to 1 centimeter width is taken from the scion. From the scion, we have to take the buds with a 2 to 3 centimeter length and 0.5 to 1 centimeter diameter. Similar size cut we have to make on rootstock, the height of 5 to 10 centimeter. Like we are taking the buds like this, so same type cuts we have to make on mother plant also, so that it will be insert easily. Like forked cut we have to make. While taking the incision, the vertical flap of the bark is left. So vertical flap of the bark will be left like this. We have to left the vertical bark left intact with the lower portion of the rootstock. The bud is covered with the flap of the bark. So this is the flap of the bark. After that, we will cover the buds with this flap of the bark and then wrapped using the polythene cap. Then we will cover it by the polythene like this. Polythene we have to cover polythene cap. Mango, jackfruit, chestnut are propagated through the forked budding. So forked budding means forked like cut we have to make, and then same cut we have to make on other plants also, in mother plant also, in rootstock plant also. So chip budding. So this is the chip budding in walnut. In walnut normally we will go for chip budding. Like this we can develop the plants from this chip budding. So grafting, we will discuss the grafting in next class. Grafting is also same as budding only. In grafting also one stalk is there and one is scion is there, and from that stalk we have to transfer the scion. So there are different methods of grafting that we will discuss in next class. Just we will take see the examples like forked budding. It is mainly used in mango, jackfruit, chestnut. Forked budding, ring budding. It is used in bur, peach, and mulberry. Bur, peach, and mulberry. Chip budding. It is used in apple, pear, and grapes. Chip budding. Patch budding. Patch budding is mainly used into the mango, jamun, chestnut, amla, jackfruit. Mango, jamun, chestnut, amla, and jackfruit. Tea budding. So tea budding is mainly used in apple. It is the best method of propagation in case of apple, pear, peach, apricot, cherry, and rose. Tea budding: apple, pear, peach, apricot, rose, and cherry. Next, we can see the layering. So air layering is mainly used in lychee, jackfruit, guava, and lime. Tip layering is mainly used in and blackberries and raspberry. Tip layering. Trench layering. The trench layering is mainly used in the softwood plant like apple, pear, and cherry. Trench layering, apple, pear, and cherry. Mount layering, it is mainly used in guava, apple, pear, and gooseberry. Guava, apple, pear, and gooseberry. Mount layering. Serpentine layering, it is mainly used in Smilex, Wisteria, and Muscadina grape. Serpentine layering. Simple layering, it is mainly used in guava, lime, and lemon. Guava, lime, and lemon. Simple layering. These are the different types of layering. Cutting. So cutting, leaf cutting. So leaf cutting in is used, then stem cutting, and then softwood cutting and hardwood cutting. This is all about the methods of propagation. So in next class we will discuss the grafting. Thank you. Thank you all.